I'm going to show you guys a step-by-step tutorial to build the most efficient base in the entire game, including some glitched stacked farms, thousands of automatic ore and coal per hour, and an ultra efficient build for your pals to go absolutely crazy with work. Alright guys, so first of all, in order to rebuild this, we're going to have to destroy everything. Alright, I have moved all my loot from the boxes up here, my main loot all the way down here. I have several boxes worth of storage down here with a bunch of really good items. Now, the thing I love about this base is it has like 5 iron ores and then it has like 5 coal ores, so your pals just go absolutely insane with mining. If you leave your computer on for like an hour and come back, they will have thousands of ores. Now, I probably have like an hour of game time around, so let's see how much ore they even have right now. Like, bro, like, look at this. This is after smelting thousands of ores. Like, this is in such a small amount of time. It is insane how much we have. Look, we have just 1,000 ingots just laying around right here. I'm also going to have a time lapse at the end of the video of me just building this in like 5 times speed or whatever. So if you guys just want to copy it like a lot of people ask for without hearing me like talk and explain that kind of thing, you can just watch at the end and follow along. So first things first, let's put away all of the pals. This is going to be an essential first step so they don't like get in the way of everything, and let's start demolishing. If you guys haven't seen a base this big getting demolished, it's kind of satisfying but also kind of sad. Now, the things you need for this base also are not too expensive. It's pretty much just a lot of stone and then the normal essentials. And if you guys don't have like fancy stuff, like enough of these production assembly lines and everything, these aren't necessary, and you'll probably get the materials for this kind of stuff while you're just sitting here AFK in the base, since they give you all kinds of stuff anyways. I'm telling you, the ingot and the coal output that this base provides is just insane, and it also has a really good location around the map. And on top of that, the level that this base has and everything, it makes it so all of your pals work so efficiently. You will rarely see any of your pals like depressed or not working or anything. It is incredible. You're also going to need to make sure you have a lot of boxes around the ore. You can see they're already getting to work, and I also chose not to build a stone little like lumbering thing, like a stone, I forgot what it was called, the stone pit. I actually did not build one of those. That way all my pals will completely focus on the ore, and I don't know if them breaking the ore actually gives you stone or whatever, but for some reason I always have thousands of stones. I think the pals like breaking the coal or the ore or whatever gives you a little bit of stone. I'm not positive about that though. I don't really know. All I know is I've always had enough stone at this base without needing to build the stone pits, so I'm not going to be building one of those, because sometimes the pals just get stuck on that, and it's kind of annoying when I want them to be mining coal and ore and instead they're just mining stone. Like, I don't really need that kind of stuff. Oh my goodness, we are picking up so many of the old items. I'm sorry guys, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Look how much this is, how much stuff is just laying on the ground. This is crazy. Alright, so in order to start with this base, it looks like we still have a few things left over. The glitch farms are still going strong up here. This is my favorite part of the glitch. They give you so much glitched berries and everything. I love that. But in order to start, we're actually not going to start with the PAL box. I saw a lot of comments complaining that like they couldn't put the PAL box and fit everything in there. We're actually not going to start with that, and we're going to build the other things before we actually build the PAL box. So we're going to start with some stone, and we're going to build a 6x6 foundation inside of the base. So let's start right here in the beginning, the edge of this little hill, and then we'll build 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, so we have a nice little 6 foundations here. Now we're going to go 6 long ways. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. Now that we have a 6x6 foundation, you might have to chop down some of the trees. They always get in the way, which is kind of annoying. You can just fill in the rest of the ground with the foundations. It doesn't really matter if you're leaving some spots open or some spots are covered by trees or whatever. And then once you have a nice little 6x6 platform just like I do, you can put your PAL box right in the middle. Some places like this, they won't let you place foundations, so you can actually just go ahead and make this into little stairwells, considering like it depends how you put it and everything. But some of the times you can put foundations there, some of the times you can't, just like this one, but it doesn't really matter. Sometimes roofs look better pretty much as long as they have a kind of a 6x6 foundation with any kind of stairwells going up and everything. That's all that matters, and it looks good just like this. So now we're going to place our main thing, our PAL box here, and that will make it so pals obviously can start working and everything. But I'm actually going to save putting pals in there until we're all the way done, because I don't want them like getting in the way, making it laggier and everything. We don't really want that. So we're just going to build the PAL box, and now we have access to all the materials in our chests and everything, which will make things a lot easier. Now we're going to start working on the second layer. This is the most important layer, and this is actually super important because of the Jormuntides. Now, every late game base is going to have Jormuntides in it, and obviously they're going to be for like cooking ores, planting trees, planting all kinds of berries and everything. So this is where this is going to come in handy, because they can actually reach the second floor of this base without needing to go up the steps. So they're going to stay at the bottom, they're going to be super productive, and they actually don't need to come up the steps. They can reach the farms and everything from the first floor and water the farms through the walls, which makes this really easy. So again, we're just going to get rid of some of these trees. They spawn after you delete your PAL box, and then we'll start getting everything together. There we go. So now that we have finished the second floor, we should have 2 platforms of 6 by 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 by 6 platform up here, 6 by 6 platform up here, and it is 2 stone foundations up. So we have the PAL box in the middle on the little area of grass, and then we have a staircase right here. Sometimes you can put roofs like I did at the bottom. It doesn't really matter. The PALs can get up and down either one of them. And then this next step is really important. We're going to add stairs all around it. So this will help the pals get up and down and mine the ores and get back to work easier, and they won't get stuck like on your base and everything. It doesn't really matter where you put the stairs. You can put them everywhere. You can put them pretty much nowhere. You can only have 1 or 2 if you want. I like just having them all over, especially like near these ores. It's really important to have it near the ores so that the pals can go up and down and mine as they please, and they they won't get stuck and everything, and they'll keep working the entire time, which makes them very less likely to get like depressed or get sick or anything. So they'll just be working pretty much this entire time. It is amazing. Remember, super important, put the boxes near the ores. So now that we have all 4 little ledges that have some stairs, have some roofs and everything so the pals can get up and down, we can actually start working inside the base. So like I said, you want your farms on the second tier of the base, not the first tier, because you want your pals to be occupied with other more important stuff in the first tier. So in order to build the glitch farms, that is the first thing we're going to do right now. We're going to need first of all the farms obviously, and then we're going to need this little wooden bench. So I'll show you guys how to do it. First of all, you're just going to build 3 benches right on top of each other, just like this. Now this is one of the most useful glitches in the entire game. Even though it is super easy, it is definitely one of the most useful, and it provides so many berries in such a short amount of time. So you're going to need to jump to do this glitch correctly. There we go. And now that we have 3 benches stacked on top of each other, this is where the glitch comes in. So you're going to jump and place a farm all the way at the top here. There we go. Perfect. But we're not going to build it. This is an important step. We're not going to build it. Now, we just dismantled that one, and we do the same thing again. We're just going to jump and try and line it up. There we go. And now that we lined it up, we have 2 on top of each other, and you guys can just repeat this process over and over and over again. So destroy that one, and then jump and place the 3rd berry farm just like that. Now destroy the last one, and you can actually fit 4 in here, so you can fit 1 more at the bottom just like that, and boom, look at that. You have 4 farms placed on top of each other. Your Jormuntides can water them from the very bottom. You can like sit here and your workers will come up and plant them and collect the berries and everything. You can put a box right next to them if you would like, and that would work really easy. And we're also going to work on some of the electrical stuff up here. So we're going to have a spear assembly line here. We're going to have a production assembly line right on this side, and then we're going to have a weapon assembly line right up here on this side. So we have assembly lines on all 3 of the sides, and then of course we're going to have an electric furnace up here. Again, the Jormuntides can feed this electric furnace from down there, so it's really useful. We're going to have some power conductors and everything up here also. A lot of the times your electric pals can reach this through the floor too, we're going to have, I think 2 is good enough. I've never needed more than 2. So now we have all these blueprints. We're going to get our Anubis to slave away and build all of this stuff, and then we're going to start working on the bottom floor. Now again, I think you can even add like a third floor if you want. I've never found enough stuff to need a third floor. I'm always happy with the first 2 floors, but you can pretty much add whatever you want. Like obviously none of the stuff anymore is essential, but this is the best way to optimize your base with the electrics and the farms on the top. You can do the same with like a wheat farm or any other kind of farm that you want, since the Jormontides and all the electric piles and everything can actually work through the floor. So it's super useful. I'm going to get this all built, and then I'll show you guys the bottom floor. All right, perfect. The upstairs is completely built. We'll probably add a few more other things down here. You can add whatever you want. Also up here, if you want some storage or whatever, maybe you can build a third floor for like a ranch or a breeding farm or whatever. I don't have that kind of stuff at this base. This is mainly just like an ore slash main base for me, but people have like breeding stuff and stuff like that up here also if you would like. However, now on the bottom floor, we can start focusing on a few other things. I also have my 8 incubators at the top floor. I have to rebuild those, but over here on the grass, you can build as many beds as you want. This is a really useful area since obviously they can go up and down these stairs and everything. They really like these bed areas, so this has always worked really well for me. And the pals rarely ever get depressed or sick or whatever because they're always working. They always have access to these beds, and they never get stuck going up and down the steps, which has really surprised me, which makes this base just perfect. So over here at the north side of your base, you can put all of your beds and everything, and obviously you don't want them over there or over there on that side of the section because they have ores over there, and you want them to completely focus on the ores. And then if you put them on the west section, that's mostly where they're going to be chopping down trees and getting wood, so you don't really want that over there. Speaking of wood, I'm going to put my logging site right under my steps if I can fit it. You kind of have to wiggle it around over here and find a good area, but my logging site is going to be right here under my steps. That seems to be the perfect area for me, and they'll produce a ton of wood right here. Now we're going to need a main storage facility, so we're going to build a bunch of chests right here, and then we're also going to make sure to put our feed box right in the middle here so that if they're sleeping they can come up and eat. If they're working on ores or trees over here, they can come up and eat. It's just the perfect area for it. We're going to have our furnace and some chests over there, and then obviously a main storage unit right here of a few chests. That will work really well. Now that we have all of this built, including our feed box, we can go ahead and add hot springs and high quality hot springs over in this area so that they'll be nice and well taken care of, and they'll love it just in this little area. It's in between everything. It is perfect. Next, you're going to want to use this little area, this little corner where you're not really doing anything, to build all of your essentials like your repair bench, your pal gear workbench, all of that kind of stuff, your high quality workbench. All of that can be right over here. Medicine if you want it, weapons if you want it, all that kind of stuff is right in this little area over here, this little corner. Your pals won't interfere with it, you won't get stuck with it, but if you're building something, they can come right on over and help you out. That is pretty much it. Now of course you can add whatever else you want in here, and some other like aesthetic choices like decorations or furniture or whatever. I don't really have too much of that. This is the essentials, and if you can see, this is all the pals I have to get to work to my base. I have the Tanzis for logging and everything, the Anubis for mining, and they will just get right to work. It looks like I only have one feeling depressed right now, which is really good. They just go up the steps just like this perfectly to start working on the farms. Some of them are logging for trees already. We have the Anubises mining these little ore deposits. And as long as you remember to put your boxes all over near the ore deposits, you will get insane amount of ores. You'll get insane amount of berries up here. You'll get insane amount of coal over here. Your Jormontides, you can see they're watering the farm from the very bottom. If you had a red Jormontide, he'll be doing the furnaces, and the electric is getting sent all the way from the bottom. It is just the perfect base design, and I just realized I didn't even like say the chords to this base. So if you guys did not know where the chords are, it is right here at 185 minus 45. Just the perfect base. Now here is the time lapse of me building it, so if you need to go back and watch any other parts, you don't have to watch me explaining or talking or anything. So if you guys need to sub up, you can go ahead and do that if you would like. I upload PalWorld guides, glitches, tips, all kinds of stuff every single day. And this is my base. I didn't find the, you know, the location or whatever, but in my opinion, this is the best base in the entire game.